Hey guys, Mark is here. Today I want to talk about director's vision for a movie and our job as composers to translate it to sounds. To demonstrate that, I will use the main theme I made for the Masuren thriller, and I will start by recalling what Anno, the director, shared with me before we started the work on the movie. So I remember a few things running in his head. The main thing was probably the music, the soundtrack, not to be a typical crime movie soundtrack, but still to be suspensive and have those elements. And one more thing is that all of this is happening in a small town in Poland called Pasim. So this adds it, of course, it's different than a crime investigation in LA or Las Vegas. So we wanted that to be translated in the music. More things I can recall is he asked it to be driven and suspensive and have kind of a restless thought that is running constantly in Victoria's head. For me, it was important to make it also up to date in a way. And one more thing, he asked it to be cold and melancholic. So the first thing I came up with, I was focused on having this kind of determined earworm that is constantly running in my head, and I think I started with something like this. Yeah, something repetitive that can go on forever, but on top of that I will be able to express all the other elements. Let's have a quick listen through the track and let's talk to how each element is translated there. So let's start here. So somehow those reversed guitar sounds is the coldness for me. Determination. Here comes our restless thought. More reversed guitars, more cold. And the main guitar theme. Alright, let's try to break it to pieces. So let's start with the guitars that represent few elements for me. Those reversed guitars, which by the way we'll have a separate episode about how exactly we did them. It's a very particular setup. Is okay, the cold Polish weather and melancholic feel. It goes on pretty much all the way through. At certain point we have the other guitars kick in, which are kind of inspired by the old Western movies, which also, at least for me, a crime-based genre. And those little mandolin-like guitars that you can hear, pretty much playing one note all the way through, but give breath and some intimacy, at least for me, to the whole story. On top of that, we have our piano, which we already covered. Some accordions here and there to add some more Polish folk instruments. And finally our drums. Probably last element, I will solo it for you, is this synthesizer, which comes together with those guitars, just to add them some timbre and harmony. Probably one more thing I forgot to mention is intimacy. It's also something I was asked to pay attention to. It's a crime story, but a very personal one. Victoria, the main character, is investigating this case, but it's her uncle. So it's a very personal, intimate thing rather than, grandiose sounding one. It would be nice to see how we develop the theme further on. So the first time this theme appears is at the beginning of the movie, in a scene when you can see Victoria boarding a train on her way to this little town called Pasim in Poland. It starts by the time she boards the train, and by the end of it she arrives. And next scene, she goes out of the train into this new little town. You can see her wandering at the streets. So we had these guitars going on. And this little melody up there is rhythmically the same as our guitar theme, slightly rearranged. And I guess in a more positive manner. Farther on, the themes of course appear many times along the movie. And to keep it fresh, here and there we started to eliminate all kind of elements of it and add other elements instead. So you still of course recognize it, and it's the same, has all those elements that we mentioned, but also surprise you here and there. Let's take a listen to that. Here we don't have our main guitars, but instead we have those cellos. Okay, so to summarize today, I was asked to keep 5 elements, I think, if I counted right, represented in the music. I had all the freedom to look for the right way to do it, or that also stylistically match, something that I can work with and develop along the way and take further along the movie. It's even a series, so along all the way. And those are the solutions I found. One more thing I wanted to add on this topic is the use of genres to create a blend, a mixture of things that helps to translate all these different elements of the vision, of the director's vision, into one whole piece. And genres are tools to raise emotions, to create certain feelings, certain associations in the head of the viewer, and that's how we should use it, in my opinion, and combine them, especially in film scores, to create unique experiences that are customized for the story or for the movie. Thank you for being with us. Hope you had a great time. See you in the next episode. Bye.